Good morning, everyone. It's Nana Hannah. I'm making some simple tomato soup today. I've made probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 different soups during the cold weather. Well, today it's not cold, but it's very, very windy. But it's still February, and it's still time for soup. So I've started out by sauteing about 3 to 4 cups of chopped onion. Chop them up as best you can because mine aren't really little, but they are chopped. Let's see if I can do this here before I knock anything else over. Okay, so I've been sauteing them for 12 minutes here. They're almost translucent, as you can see. So that's how we started off. Now, I've had this recipe in my cookbook for a while, but I had seen something on commercial on TV where these 2 little boys, 2 brothers, come in from being outside, and they're so cold, and they sit down to Campbell's tomato soup, 2 little bowls of soup, and there they sit and they eat this soup, and they're making all these comments, and I thought, you know, I just feel like tomato soup myself. So that's what we're doing. So it's almost 12 minutes that these onions are cooking in here. What I will do is add about 3, let me think, well, it's about a tablespoon. If you have garlic cloves, you probably need 3 garlic cloves, but it comes to about a tablespoon of garlic that's crushed or chopped real fine. So I'm going to add that now. Here's my garlic. Ooh, there it is. Gotta have garlic. I mean, it's what keeps you healthy too. When I was growing up, that's all my mother used to almost put garlic around my neck on a rope. No, she didn't do that, but of course she gave me a lot of garlic when I was growing up. So we're going to mix that in with the onions. Saute that a little bit. And while that's cooking, we get everything else prepared. So, once we have these incorporated with the garlic incorporated with the onions, okay, we have it on low. We'll add the tomatoes. Now, this recipe called for San Marzano tomatoes, and they're the best if you can get them. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive, but it's worth it. So you get 2 28-ounce cans of San Marzano. If you can't get them, Kroger crushed tomatoes would do. Really. They would do just fine. So I've already opened the 2 cans over here. Get these out of the way now. Now that's telling me my 12 minutes are up for sauteing these onions. And you can see with the garlic now they're all mixed together. So the next part of this is to add the 2 cans of tomatoes, the crushed tomatoes, and I put them all in a container like so. So it would be a little bit easier to get them into the pot without splashing it too much. Now this also, this one kind of San Marzano has a little bit of basil in it. I want to mix that around together now. And I think what I will do is get the best part out of the little measuring thing I have here. Okay. All right, so that's the first part. Right now, we've added our tomatoes. Now, along with that, we're going to add in 2 cups of chicken broth. And this is my favorite chicken broth, which is very low in sodium. This recipe I think will serve about 8 people. Make it a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to stir that a little bit. Then along with that are the next 3 ingredients. And they are, let me think how much sugar. We put 1 tablespoon of sugar in this next. And I do this sometimes with my sauce when I make my spaghetti sauce. Sugar is added to it to kind of break up the acid in the tomato. And then along with that, you want to add about a 1/4 cup. I didn't have enough basil, so this is less than a 1/4 cup, but you add basil to it. So you can kind of judge how much you want to put in there. Add some basil to that. And then, of course, a little bit of pepper. Maybe a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. We'll add that in there too. So we're going to add all this up here and let it start to cook up a little bit. Let me see. There we go. Make it a little bit higher. So this should cook up for a while. We'll stir it. And what's going to happen is you're going to see as you lift up either your wooden spoon or of a kind of spoon, you'll see little pieces of onion in there. Now there are times when people like to have that in the soup itself, because that's all that goes into it. But again, if you rather use your immersion blender or a blender from your, if you have a larger blender that you can, put some soup into it and then like make it a little bit thicker and less tomatoey and less oniony, which is what I'm gonna do, because I don't like to have the taste of the onions just popping up at me. So basically right now this is all we have to do. So let me just get one more thing here. I have to read my directions and make sure I get them right. Okay, so there. All right, now, so the next thing would be, if you choose to, as you can see, I have a grilled cheese sandwich just waiting patiently to be cooked, because what goes best with a bowl of tomato soup but grilled cheese? I got it. Okay, so here's my immersion blender. Okay, so I'm going to do this a little bit like I did with one of my other soups that I had. I do it quite often because it makes them taste a lot better. I think they're not as bulky and yucky. So I'm going to make a lot of noise. Let's see. Okay, we'll do this one. All right, here goes. Now, if that's not quite enough, you could always add more. You could always make it a little thicker by putting that in. And I can see already the difference in the soup. This is going to go a little bit higher, and at the same time I'm going to turn on my grilled cheese sandwich here, because like I said, you gotta have grilled cheese with a tomato soup, and this soup does really smell good, and it's nice and mixed with everything else. You can see the basil in here, everything else that's in here. There's just 2 more ingredients to be added. Let me get my other thing here and get ready. Get a dish in a little that should be a nice lunch, or it could be a nice dinner, whatever you prefer. So I'm just going to stir this a little bit longer. And then the last two ingredients that are added, you want to put in a half a cup of heavy whipping cream. And it just depends. You don't have to have a half, it doesn't have to be that much. If you don't have whipping cream, I've also used some cream for my coffee. If it's not, because that's not real thick, but it's still, it could take care of the same purpose of the adding it to the soup. So there's two things to add, maybe a little bit lower. It's starting to really get nice now. You see it. So the next thing we want to do is add the milk or the cream to it. So I've got some cream here. I have a half a cup of thick cream I've added. Stir that in well. This looks so good. And then the next thing is, the very last thing you want to put in is about a quarter cup, or a third of a cup, I think this is, of grated Parmesan cheese. And stir that in, get that little lump out of there. And that's, you stir that in. I'm going to check my little sandwich over here that I'm cooking. Stir that in real good. It's bubbling and it's steaming. Let's see what this real cheese looks like. Come on, cook up now. I should have started you earlier, but that's okay. There. Simple. It's a simple recipe, and but it makes for such a delicious meal, lunch, dinner, whatever. So it's got very few things and lots of staples that you would have in your kitchen. I mean, let's face it, it's onions. I always have onions around. I'd have to go out and buy the crushed tomatoes, because I wouldn't have that kind, but I think it makes a big difference on how that cooks up. And then of course your creamer or your heavy cream. Now this would be maybe a little bit thicker with the heavy cream in it, but I think this is fine with the cheese melting in there nicely now. Let me see what our little guy looks like. Oh, he's toasting up really nice. Yes, he is. I have white American cheese that I put in my sandwich here. You see that? And then sometimes I'll throw a little pickle on the side. Oh, maybe a pickle or something like that. Let that relax a little bit. Meanwhile, I'm going to put some of the soup in one of my little bowl here. Find a little soup ladle. Okay. So actually, the soup is pretty much done. Now, if you want to, when you serve this, you can also add more cheese to it. Serve it with, put it in the dish and then serve it with a little sprinkle of some more Parmesan cheese. Oh, that looks so yummy. I was almost burning it. Look at that. Oh my goodness. We're turning that off. Okay. That's okay. I'll take the sandwich. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me get a little scissor here and cut this piece. Cut it in half. See it? Oh no. This is kind of too much for me to eat. But the good part about having a sandwich like this is you put it alongside of your dish. Now wait, I gotta change positions here because the stove is hot and so is my lunch. Okay. I'm going to move over to this position here and just turn myself around now that the soup is cooking nicely. There it is. See? It makes a pretty presentation, doesn't it? I know it does. Turn that soup off for a little bit now. But like I said, this will feed about 8 people. You have a meal, a lunch or something, a couple friends over. The other thing that's fun to do, since my sandwich is toasty with American cheese in it, before you dip it in there. Let's see what it tastes like. That is good. Oh, that soup is so good. It's so perfect. I wish you could join me. But simple to make. And other people too, they'll add other vegetables to it also. But just using the immersion blender, it really makes the soup a little bit softer and it flows easier and it goes on your spoon very nicely and into your mouth. Even better. Okay, so that's my soup. Maybe it's into my soup for a while. I don't know. I'll think about something else I can find. Keep looking through my cookbook. I love you all. I hope you all had a great day and are having a great day this afternoon. Very windy out, but it's okay. It's nice. It's sunny. So enjoy your day, and I will see you soon. Bye.